Hey there, I'm Bill Hader and welcome back to TCM's Friday Night Spotlight on road movies. Our last movie, Wild Strawberries, took a journey into the life of one man who looked back on his past with regret. Our next film is very much in that same vein. It's a very cool film from 1970 called 5 Easy Pieces. The great Jack Nicholson stars as the definitive angry young man, a character who stands as a symbol of the disillusionment that was part of American life in the late 1960s and early 70s. He's a former piano prodigy who walked away from his comfortable upper-class life to find himself, but he's not having much luck finding a part of himself that he likes. He's an oil rigger living with his waitress girlfriend, played by Karen Black. The two of them end up taking a road trip to Nicholson's family home to visit his estranged father. The way the movie asks questions of what defines the American dream was very typical for filmmaking in the 1970s. They're hard questions with no easy answers. To that end, writer-director Bob Rafelson made sure to get the look of the film just right, shooting at gas stations, ragged motels, and all-night diners. So here's the film that earned 4 Academy Award nominations for Best Picture and Screenplay, Best Actor for Jack Nicholson, and Best Supporting Actress for Karen Black. From Columbia, 5 Easy Pieces. So how about that scene in the diner where Jack Nicholson tries in vain to get a piece of plain toast?
I'd like a plain omelet, no potatoes, tomatoes instead, a cup of coffee, and wheat toast.
That scene has taken its place as a classic movie moment, but where it originated is in question. Screenwriter Carol Eastman, Jack Nicholson, and the director Bob Rafelson all claim to have come up with the idea. What is not in question is how perfectly that scene was referenced by director and writer Alexander Payne in a deleted scene in his 2002 film About Schmidt, starring Jack Nicholson, another great road movie.
You see this sign?
Kubrick had died, and they came out with that DVD set with the making of The Shining, which you could not find anywhere. And we watched, I think, 3 times in a row because we could not believe there was Stanley Kubrick. And the first time you see him, you're just following Jack Nicholson through the Overlook set. And then it arrives at this big burly guy in a coat who's balding with the big glasses and a giant beard. And that's Kubrick. And up until that moment, I thought he was British. He starts talking like this, and he's like, all right, Shelley, what we have to do here is we have to get you over to the...
Shelley, I'm telling you, it's too many times. Every time he speaks emphatically, you're jumping, and it looks funny.
There's one point where he's like, I think they should play in a wide shot considering the situation. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. He's from the Bronx. I went, oh my God, he's just like a guy from the Bronx who makes these really insane experiences. I remember there's that story, I think Steven Spielberg asked Kubrick, have you heard this? Like that he didn't, Kubrick asked Steven Spielberg, did you like The Shining? And at the time, Spielberg said, not really. And he said, why? And he's like, I just thought Jack Nicholson was really big. And Kubrick said, okay, name your 5 favorite actors. And Steven Spielberg, I think, said like Jimmy Stewart, Spencer Tracy, Henry Fonda, Clark Gable, Robert Montgomery or something.
Right.
And he went, okay, stop. In that list, you did not mention James Cagney. James Cagney is my all-time favorite actor, and that's why Jack Nicholson is great in The Shining.
That's a great story.
I thought that was a great story that he shared, because you go, oh, he likes that. He wants someone who pops.
I love some of Stanley Kubrick's movies, but I remember being I'm still a film geek, but in my 20s, this really romanticized version of these directors, and you would hear, Stanley Kubrick did 150 takes of Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson on the stairs.
Yep.
And The Shining, I'm going to bash your brains in that scene, because he wanted to get Shelley Duvall to this real sense of hysteria and all this. And, we thought that was so cool, and that was being an artist and and why it was so great. And then you start doing this as a job. And I've now, I've been in horror movies, I've been in dramas, comedies, everything. And I've seen people and I've seen Shelley Duvall in other movies do just that, and I bet it was 5 takes. It's called acting.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's not Kubrick. That's his ego. That's his.
Yeah.
I need that process. That's all about ego and stuff. And I just, when people, it's bad when people you start hearing about their process and you know more about the process or remember the process more than the work. You know what I mean? And so in acting, directing, writing, you always hear that stuff. So it is funny. I just don't understand as I get older and as you start doing it, you know, you'll see a great actor do something very similar like that. And Shelley Duvall, those Robert Altman movies, I mean, Three Women. I mean, great actor. Yeah. And so I never really, to me, that was more like, again, it's like ego. But that said, I mean, I watched The Shining with my oldest daughter not too long ago, and I still enjoyed it. But I was like, I just don't want to be on that set.